To make gummy worms, everything starts with the gummy bit. Powdered gelatin is soaked in water for 20 minutes.
Once fully dissolved, it's piped through to cooking kettles, where the mix is sweetened with sugar and corn syrup.
For gummy worms alone, they need 9 million kilograms of sugar and over 11 million kilograms of corn syrup every year.
The sweet stuff is divided into 6 smaller mixers.
For each batch, a food color and its flavor are measured and poured into barrels. These barrels feed straight into the mixers. And the flavors are as crazy as the colors.
Wild cherry, rockin' blue raspberry, ornery orange, and lickin' lemon.
Well, I've heard of a bad apple, but never an ornery orange. Finally, each flavor gets a measure of citric acid to boost the sour taste.
Once mixed, the 6 flavors are pumped through the floor, ready to be turned into worms. After all, worms do live underground. First, a metal worm template is punched into a bed of powdered cornstarch to create a solid mold with worm-shaped holes. Cornstarch is used because it can be punched into any number of shapes.
So it's really just a more efficient process, being able to create any shape that you want and really only having to change one mold versus...
Pretty clever.
A depositor drops precise amounts of liquid into each mold. Each worm receives 2 colors at the same time.
This machine can fill 260,000 worms an hour.
That will produce over 45,000 kilograms of brightly colored worms in one day.
The filled cornstarch trays of worms are stacked and then taken to the cooled curing room.
We allow our gummies to cure for 24 hours.
Once cured, the trays are lined up to be unstacked. Time for these worms to turn. Now the genius of using cornstarch trays becomes apparent. The trays are flipped onto a screen and disappear. The cornstarch falls through and the gummy worms emerge for a trip down the conveyor. No dirty trays to wash up.
This factory can make 13 million of these colorful little critters every day. Like a 1980s acid house party, they wriggle their way to a steam tunnel where they're blasted with heat so their outer layer is slightly melted.
Now that the gummies are sticky, they toss around with our sour coating.
In the candy business, this is known as sour sanding.
We would tell you what the sour sanding's made of.
I'm guessing sugar might be one of those ingredients.
Well, we know it isn't sand. The tumbling action makes sure the worms get evenly coated.
We make so much.
Wow, that's over 900,000 kilograms, enough to fill 13,333 sandboxes.
The gummies wriggle their way up the conveyor and down into a pool hopper, which quickly and automatically weighs portions of gummy worms and sends them down the chute to the claw below.
You know, that looks like a mother bird dropping worms into her hungry chick's beak. In this case, the chick is a 200-gram bag. It can fill 150 bags a minute. Once the bags are filled, they're heat-sealed and sent up a conveyor.
Three robotic arms use suction to place 30 bags in each carton. Cartons are automatically sealed, stacked neatly by robotic arm, and mechanically palletized.
Neon gummy worms are ready to be shipped out to bulk barns, candy stores, and theme parks.